I almost threw this drill battery in the trash. Completely dead wooden drill and not even a blink on the charger. But here's something most people never find out. A battery like this is rarely as dead as it looks. There's one reason it quits, and once you see it, you'll never pay for a new one again. Give me 5 minutes, a car battery, and 2 cheap wires. Watch what happens. First, I place the battery into its charger to check the condition. But something immediately feels wrong. The green LED stays on and never changes to red. That usually means the charger cannot detect the battery at all. In many situations like this, the battery either falls into a deep sleep state or something inside the pack stops allowing current to flow properly. So the next step is opening it up and checking what's happening inside. Using a small hex screwdriver, I remove the 4 screws at the corners of the battery pack. The screws come out slowly one by one while the plastic casing begins loosening slightly. Now the upper shell lifts away, and immediately a layer of dust becomes visible around the battery cells and circuit board. This is actually very common for tools left unused for a long period of time. Now it's time to test the battery voltage directly. First, the multimeter is switched into continuity mode. When the 2 probes touch together, the beep confirms the meter is working correctly. After that, I switch over to voltage mode and begin measuring the battery pack. But the result is not good. The voltage is almost completely gone. For many people, this usually means the battery is dead forever. But in reality, batteries like this can sometimes still be recovered if the cells inside are not physically damaged. Now comes one of the most important parts of this process: WD-40 cleaning. Instead of spraying directly onto the electronics, I spray a small amount into a cup first. Then I use cotton swabs to clean each small section carefully. The first swab immediately starts turning black from the dirt buildup. That's actually a good sign because it shows how much contamination has collected over time. Once the cotton becomes too dirty, I replace it and continue cleaning other areas. Around the solder joints, inside the small connector slots, along the metal contact terminals, and around the battery management board. One reason WD-40 works very well here is because it helps loosen grime while also pushing away moisture. It evaporates fairly quickly and leaves the surfaces much cleaner afterward. That's why many people use it for cleaning tools, electrical connectors, hinges, and mechanical parts around workshops and garages. Now the battery terminals themselves also need attention. Using fine sandpaper, I gently polish the power contact points, small back and forth sanding motions, just enough to remove oxidation and dirt from the metal surface. A smoother contact surface helps electrical current flow more consistently later. After that, I use tweezers to press gently against the solder joints connecting the battery cells together. This is an important diagnostic step. Loose solder joints can sometimes create intermittent contact problems that look exactly like a dead battery. So each connection gets checked slowly, one by one. Now we need a way to wake the battery back up. So I'm going to build a simple recovery cable using a few inexpensive materials. Here I have 2 electrical wires in different colors so we can clearly identify positive and negative later. I also prepare 2 alligator clips and 2 metal washers. The first step is stripping away the outer insulation from both wires using pliers. Thin copper strands begin appearing underneath the plastic coating. Now, 1 washer is attached to each wire end. The copper wire wraps tightly around the metal ring while the pliers squeeze everything firmly into place. And honestly, this connection needs to be tight because the washers will act as temporary power contacts for the battery pack. If the wire becomes loose here, the current flow may become unstable. Now the opposite wire ends are stripped the same way and connected to the two alligator clips. These clips will attach directly onto a car battery to provide recovery voltage. And this is actually the part many DIY viewers enjoy the most, because we're basically creating a simple battery recovery tool from very ordinary materials. By the way, where are you watching from today? And have any of you repaired old drill batteries before? I always enjoy learning new repair ideas and experiences from people working in garages and workshops around the world, so leave your experience in the comments below. Now the recovery cable is ready. The two metal washers are inserted carefully into the battery power terminals. Then the alligator clips are connected to the car battery. Red to positive, black to negative. And polarity is extremely important here. Reversing the polarity could damage the protection board inside the battery pack. Now we leave the battery connected for about 5 minutes. At this stage, the goal is not fully charging the battery yet. We only want to raise the voltage enough to wake up the protection circuit again. 5 minutes later, it's time to test the result. The multimeter probes touch the battery terminals again, and this time the voltage has returned. Not fully charged yet, but definitely alive again. That means the battery has successfully woken back up. Now the battery pack is placed carefully back into its plastic shell. The upper cover slides into position while the screws are tightened slowly one by one. At this stage, restoring the casing matters because the battery should always remain protected before official charging begins. Now comes the moment we've been waiting for. The battery goes back into its original charger again. For a second, nothing happens. Then suddenly the green light switches to red. And honestly, that's the real payoff in repairs like this. The charger finally recognizes the battery again. Now all we need to do is wait until charging is complete before testing the drill itself. After charging finishes, the battery gets installed back onto the drill. The trigger pulls. The motor spins strongly again almost immediately. Now let's test it on something real. The drill bit presses against a steel tube while metal shavings begin falling away. A battery that seemed completely dead is working once again using a few simple repair steps instead of an expensive replacement. Situations like this happen much more often than people realize, especially when batteries sit unused for long periods of time. And sometimes understanding the real problem can save a surprising amount of money. If you enjoyed this repair project, don't forget to like and subscribe because there are still many more useful DIY repair ideas coming soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.